Yes guys, welcome back to the channel. We are en route to Dungeon to hit a leg session, and we are back with some car chats because I have my intro. I thought you were drinking wine. I have my pre-workouts ready to rock, so we'll sip on this and we'll have a bit of a ramble as we're on the way to the gym. So leg day today. Progress over the past week, over the past couple of weeks has moved forward very, very smoothly, to be honest. My body, the only way I can describe it is it feels like it wants to grow at the moment. So like body weight today is up to 123 and my food hasn't changed. My food has been the same probably for the past 7 to 8 weeks, and body weight is trickling up very, very smoothly. So 123, and one thing that surprised me is how good I feel at this body weight. So I feel light, like even though the morning walks, I was like, okay, I could feel a bit heavier here, but they're still because when I get heavy, walking is hard. Walking in the morning is hard. Lower back pumps start to kick in, and right now I feel great. I don't feel any sort of lower back pump. My breathing is good. My sleep is good at the moment as well. So I feel pretty good at this body weight. I know when I start, if I do reach up towards 128, which, to be honest with you, the way things are going and how long is left in this push, I reckon by the end of the push we'll probably get to around there. I reckon then I'll start to feel heavy, but until then, I feel great at the moment. So we will not complain. But we brought Test up a little bit a couple of weeks ago and brought Master on down a little bit, and I think my body has definitely fucking liked that. I think since then I've definitely taken a jump forward in overall fullness, but just power in the gym as well. I just feel, and that's going to come with body weight coming up anyway, but I just feel a little bit stronger, a little bit more oomph behind me as well, within pressing, within my hinges, and even with my squatting and leg press patterns as well, especially considering my knees have started playing ball a little bit more as well. So on the gym floor is the most important thing. That's what is feeling best right now, and that is ultimately where we're going to see most progress. So don't forget, in a gaining phase, in an off season, it doesn't matter how much food you're eating, it doesn't matter how often you're training. What matters is the standard of your training and your overall daily routine, which I think is super important, because if that routine maintains, sleep maintains good, digestion is good, appetite remains good, and performance will hold in a good position, which is the most fucking important thing if you want to gain muscle. It's not just about being in a surplus and eating food, it's about creating that response for an adaptation and for muscle to actually be fucking built. It's not meant to be easy. But in saying that, bodybuilding is easy. And what I mean by that is, if you truly want to bodybuild and you truly want to step on stage, if you're doing it because you really love it, it does come very naturally and easy to people. Now, if you want to step on stage, but it's not something you want to do long term, and you want to do it just to take a goal off, it's probably gonna be very fucking tough, because you don't really want to be doing it. So it's going to be tough at times, but for the most part, it's very, very repetitive. You eat your meals, you go to bed at the right time, you train hard, you sleep, you eat, you train. Like when you put it on paper, it really is that simple. But where I think people struggle with most is understanding they have to do that for months and months on end. It's consistency over time. If you do that for a week or two, you literally see no progress. But if you do that over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, that's when things really start to propel forward and compound interest happens. So, like I said, it's relatively easy. If you are serious about making progress, I think the beauty of it is that if you know that if you tick them boxes over time, it's impossible not to progress. And that's a beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful feeling because not everyone can do it. So when I wake up every day, I know I'm not where I want to be, but I know I'm going to be where I want to be eventually. And it's a liberating feeling knowing that I have that self-confidence and discipline to be able to wake up and know, I know what I'm doing today. I am taking steps towards my goals. And once I keep doing this, I'm going to eventually get there. So, like I said, on paper it's easy, but in theory, well, application. It's not always as easy as what I may seem. Yeah, just me rambling. Actually, had a conversation in the gym. I was in the gym yesterday, and actually Keefe walked in. So had a good chat with Keefe West. You'll know who Keefe is. Well, he's over here for the week. So we had a good chat, and Abdullah and Eddie were there. We were kind of chatting, and we had a conversation of, in today's day and age, and even we were calling ourselves out. We were like, why do we record our sessions? Why do we not just train like we did back in the day? No cameras, no tripods, just fucking getting after it. And it was a good conversation. And the conclusions we came to were, we've all kind of been through them years where we just got in and we just trained and got after it without anyone seeing, with no cameras, nothing, because we just fucking loved it. And we've been through the years of doing that. And I think, as we get older, we're not young anymore. So as we get older, we want to leave more of a mark in terms of we feel like we can have an impact on people. Hence why we coach. We want to be able to help. So we want to be able to help people where we can. And at the end of the day, as you get older, you're trying to build a brand. You're trying to build a business. So it comes down to whether we like it or not, you kind of have to put yourself out there and post your sessions, post what you're eating, post what you're doing to reach that goal as well of building your brand, building your business, but also helping people get to where they want to be by sharing advice that you've picked up along the way as well. Does that make sense? So, I think we got to a point where I said to Abdullah, I was like, you're at a stage now where you've built these businesses and you've had this impact where people can come to your gym and be inspired, and you can still have that impact beyond. But you don't necessarily have to post your training or anything anymore because you've already reached that point of helping, if that makes sense. But again, whether we like it or not, if you're somebody who really wants to help and you want to build a business and you want to build a brand, whether we like it or not, you're going to have to just fucking do it. And it's that simple. And if you don't want to do it, that's fine. You don't have to do it. But like I said, that's the conclusion that we kind of came to as to why we always even feel like we have to record. Not feel like, put it this way, right? I record and I go home and analyse my videos. So not all the videos that I take I'll even post, because I'll go through and I will look. But at the end of the day, we still post some of them. So yes, it's evaluating our form and execution and how we're training, because that allows us to continually get better over time. But then, I suppose, because we have that recorded, we can then utilise that as content to try and help, try and share our knowledge, maybe try and inspire to an extent as well, potentially. Which is crazy saying that, because I'm like, who am I to fucking say, oh, I'm trying to motivate someone or help someone? Who am I to say that? But I think, I've been in the industry a long time, and I think I've picked up a lot of knowledge along the way that I know I can help a lot of people with. So there's going to be some people that look at my videos that it helps them. It doesn't help them at all, because they know everything I'm talking about, and they won't even watch my videos because it benefits them in no way. And that's absolutely fine. But there's also going to be a percentage of people that I know that if I say one or two things and they pick up on that and they're like, oh shit, I'm going to try that, or I'm going to do that, or that's helped me, amazing. If one person takes one thing from a video, job done. I don't care if 99% of people don't take anything from it, that's fine. But if it helps one person, amazing. Because that one person could have been me when I was younger, who wanted that bit of help or that bit of guidance or that bit of advice at that time, which I may not have. So that's my perspective behind things. And like I said, if I can help one person, absolutely amazing. So I will keep doing what I'm doing, and it does not affect my training. it does not have me training any less hard or any less focused. That's one big thing. If it did, and sometimes it does. Like I've had videographers booked before to record a session, and I've cancelled because I didn't want to be distracted in that session, or I felt like it would have distracted me where my mindset was at on that day. So if it takes away from your session, the session's number one most important thing. And if you are only new in terms of training and you literally are in your first year of training, etc., I'm not saying don't document what you're doing, but I'm just saying put more focus into actually progressing. Because what I see a lot of the time, especially with guys who may be new into the gym, is I'll see this firsthand, is they will come into a gym and they will set the camera up and get a good angle and record their main set, but then the sets they're not recording, they don't train anywhere near as hard, and you can see this. And I'm like, no, that's not the right way to go about things if you want to progress. Like, regardless of camera or no camera, every set should look the same, because you should be doing this for you and your progression, not just to maybe kind of try and show off to other people, etc. So don't be afraid to document. But I think more so, listen, learn, try and gain more knowledge by listening more than speaking when you're younger. That's personally what I've done and what massively helped me. And then just putting the majority of your energy and focus into actually progressing and developing your physique. And then over time, with the knowledge you gain and the physique you're building, then if you can reciprocate that back over and start helping people as well by kind of sharing what you've learned, I think that is, I like to see that. Like I said, people learning, people progressing, people sharing that knowledge. I always say live, learn, pass on. Live it, learn it, and then pass what you've learned on so that other people can benefit from that as well, and so we can all progress together. But I'm going to put some music on. I'm going to finish this, and then we have a leg session. Yes, gang, so I'll take you through the leg session. I'm actually going to pop the videos up over here just to kind of show you what I've done, but I'll show you the four main movements from the leg session. It was seated hamstring curl, it was leg extension, it was leg press, and it was hinging. So SLDL. I had calves in there as well, and I also had biceps in there. But starting off here with the seated hamstring curl. So here, I've done 3 sets. 3 sets in between 8 to 12 reps. So put it this way, for the first set, I got 10 reps. For the second set, I kept the weight the exact same, and I done, lower this down, I done 8 reps. The third set, I then dropped the weight down a little bit, and then I hit 11 reps. Okay, so 3 sets there, same weight for the first 2, dropped the weight a little bit for the third set. But again, all of equal importance. Here, I'm trying to hold the squeeze at the bottom for half a second. I feel for me, if I just kick it down and let it go and kick it down, I feel like I can just keep on moving it, but I come out of that and I don't necessarily feel. So for me, I like being a bit more accurate to make sure I'm getting every fucking inch out of that muscle. That's 3 sets there. Then on the extension, which I had 2 working sets. Here, little cues I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of rotating the knees in a little bit rather than letting them point out. When I let them point out, they want to go outwards. So when I let them go that way, I feel that's when a lot of my knee pain starts to come in. But when I rotate them in a little bit, I'm a bit weaker, but it's a nasty contraction on the quad. It's a lot less knee for me as well. So these have been giving me an issue on the prime, but it felt really, really good just from that little cue. So hips shifted forward a little bit, pulling myself down in and leaning back a little bit so I can really have that quad stretch fully. And another thing, that last rep there, I have a habit of just kicking it up. So I pulled myself down. I was like, right, I'm not fucking kicking this. I'm actually going to fight for it and drag it up and contract it all the way. So again, my knees have thanked me for this. Then onto the leg press. So 2 sets on the leg press after 2 sets on the extension. So on the leg press, I done 6.5 plates and I done 11 reps. So I actually took the exact same again for the second set where I got 9 reps. I've changed a couple of things. I've put the seat all the way back rather than having it more upright. Okay. I've also taken my shoes off and I feel like I have more stability. And then I'm not coming down as deep. It's still deep, but I was coming down so much to the point where when I got to the bottom, my hips were lifting, okay, which isn't always a bad thing, but I felt like the tension was coming off my quads onto my lower back, which I didn't fucking want. So I'm a little bit shallower. I'm pulling the hips down to make sure they don't shift, but I'm getting so much more quad. It's hard mentally because I'm like, fuck, I want to bury these. I want to get more range of motion. I want to get more depths. But then I'm asking myself, Mark, if you're getting more depths just to go balls deep, but your quads are taking less, what the fuck are you doing? You're a bodybuilder. You're not here to get, do what needs to be done for that movement. So trying to get a little bit smarter here. But 2 working sets here. Now, I'm mentioning these cues, but you better believe when I'm in these sets, the cues were already nailed down. I'm going through them on the warm-up sets, making sure that everything is perfect. When I'm in the working sets, I'm keeping the standards, but you better believe my mind is, how can I fucking get as many reps here as possible? I'm not worried about, oh shit, knees, control, oh, do this. I'm not even thinking because I've already nailed that standard down in the warm-ups and from the previous week and the week before. And the week before, which is why I think keeping same exercises in is important. But when I'm in the set, I'm able to lock in and just really fucking get after it. Then, last exercise, 1 set here, we have the SLDL. So these are getting stronger for me. I got 5 reps here, but my hamstrings and glutes are absolutely destroyed after it. So these are definitely getting a lot better for me. I'm not a great hinger. I never have been. But I feel like now I'm on a good run. And I think I'm going to be able to run these up to 5 plates a side over the next couple of months with this sort of execution. So I'm excited because we're on a good run. And it may turn into a movement that may not be too weak for me. But we will see. But that is the 4 main movements. 4 movements for legs. Now, it's only 4 exercises. But again, I have legs again in 4 days' time. So I think a lot of people may look at my training and say, Mark, why are you only doing like that many exercises or that many sets? Like, surely you can do more. What you got to realize is, like, years ago, if I had legs in 4 days' time, I could have got away with probably doing double this. And the reason being, if you listen to this, in 5 years' time, you're going to look back. You probably won't look back at this video, but you know what I'm saying. And be like, okay, now I understand why people were doing less reps. Because when I was younger, I used to look at people older than me and further along in their training career. And I used to say, surely they're taking, less progress here by doing less reps and less sets, etc. But what I didn't realize at that time is that the deeper into your training career you get, the better your execution gets, the more tension you can put through a muscle, the more stimulus you can get from a set. So the longer you're in this, you can get so much more from so little. So what you get from one set, what I get from one set now is the equivalent of like how much tension and stimulus I could get from like 3 sets, like 4 or 5 years ago. Does that make sense? So the deeper along you get, you can contract the muscle better, you can perform it better, you can just get inside the muscle a lot more so that you can generate that force and power and tension that you need. So you may need more sets than what I do. Don't just look at me like, I used to do 1 set, I just need 1. I do these sets and this volume because I cannot recover from any more. As in, like, if I do like double this, I cannot train legs for probably a week. I'm fucked. So it's perspective. It's not that you have to be doing what I'm doing. It's just down to what can your body handle, what can you recover from, and what do you need. So bear that in mind. But short and sharp one. Bit of a long ramble at the start, but then just wanted to go through that leg session, which was a cracker. And we're going into a big week of training ahead. Like I said, a couple of big sessions over the next week as well, which I'm excited to show you. But I will leave it there. I will give you a bit more of a deeper update across the week. I'll keep these 2 vlogs a week coming for the time being. Let me know your thoughts. Any feedback, let me know. Anything you'd like to see, let me know. I will leave it here. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much. One more thing. How could I forget? Conte's Black Friday sale is on until Monday. 30% off the whole site. Use code MARK30 at checkout. Literally 30% off everything. So while stocks last, go stock up, because 30% off is a fucking steal. And you will not get this for the rest of the year. So go stock up now and you'll be sorted for the rest of the year. Because I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.